To my YouTube channel. My name is Martin, and if this is your first time coming across this channel, please subscribe to this channel. Also, like this channel, and I want you to leave a comment and share this video as well. I am here to interview another young gentleman. See, this person I'm about to talk to you about is a young man who has done so well for himself. Currently, he has won a lot of awards. He has built a business out of the educational sector, and he owns the My Home Teacher. I'm telling you, this gentleman is very young, very humble, but he has a lot of things in him. And of course, as I've always said, the African youth have a lot of things to offer this country, this continent. And so I am on the mission to interview such people who can inspire other young people as well. Please come along with me and let's talk to Eric Bundy.
I just got off the phone with the girl who loves you too. Said you're working on yourself, is she helping with that too? You gave her the time of day. You told her.
Eric, it's an honor meeting you. We've always spoken on Facebook, but I think this is our first time meeting in person. Right, Eric, I've heard so much about you. I've read so much about you. I've actually had time to research about you. Meeting you today is actually an ability I think so. Sure. So I'm sure our viewers want to know who Eric is and also have a long conversation and a very nice conversation. So we could also inspire other young people out there. Right? So I hope you're ready for this.
Definitely ready.
Sure. Right. So I guess we can see this. All right. Sure. So Eric, I would like to know who is Eric?
So, like you said, thank you very much for this opportunity. Definitely, programs like this or channels like this are geared towards making sure that you communicate your story, you tell your story so that it also inspires someone else. So, I'm Eric Bundy, and I graduated from the University of Cape Coast, reading actuarial science, and I am the founder of My Home Teacher. And My Home Teacher is basically a business organization, which also a social enterprise, which is aimed at connecting teachers to parents with a private tuition for their wards at home. So aside doing that, I'm also a broadcast journalist with ATLFM, which happens to be the campus radio station for University of Cape Coast. I've had a number of years of experience when it comes to media, journalism, and then education as well. And over the years, I mentor young people in actualizing and then identifying their purpose and pursuing this purpose so that they also impact their world positively. So basically, that is something little about me.
Wow. This is not little. This is not little. Yeah. So how was your growing up like? What kind of a child were you?
I didn't get it all rosy.
Okay.
It wasn't something you're always spoon fed,
Okay.
but it was more like you were presented with choices. Growing up, things were good because I had a good education. There was a good home for me as well. But you know how life happens, and all of a sudden things break down from the parent side. Financial issues become a challenge, and then you now have to juggle through school and then be working at the same time. So after SS, at the age of 18, I made a resolution that I'm not going to depend on my parents for school fees or pocket money. Because personally, for me, I felt that at the age of 18, once you get to that age, you can vote. And if you can decide who the next president of a country would be, then you shouldn't be asking your parents for certain things. And moving to school, that's into the university, I told myself that let me pay for my university admission fees, school fees, my upkeep, so that I also feel the need to be responsible. Because when responsibilities are given to you, there's a kind of life you also live And because of the financial constraint from family, so I decided that I would be working and then I'll be schooling at the same time. So I had this job as a teacher. That was where the whole story of my home teacher also began. So I had this opportunity to teach in a private school, and even to me, the pay was little, but I found so much fulfillment helping a student or students in classroom. So it wasn't much of the money aspect to me. It was doing something I love doing and fulfilling my purpose. Then later I realized that, oh, okay, then education was my purpose in life. And it's very, very essential that every young person is able to identify his own purpose. In that way, you wouldn't be living your life just as anyone. There will be a direction with your life, there will be a sense of purpose. Indeed. So I was working, saving, and then I had enough to gain admission to the University of Cape Coast, where I read actuarial science. And over there, I was also doing some few part-time home teaching jobs and stuff. I was catering for my own self in terms of feeding, school fees, because at the end of every year, academic year, you will have to pay school fees. So I used to save working, schooling at the same time. So there was this particular client I was working for. Her daughter, by the name Abigail, had 53% in mathematics. So I looked at the report and then I asked the student why she had that particular mark. What students will say is the fault of the teacher, and so they will always want to
Excuses.
put the blame on someone. So over there, I told the parent that I'm going to teach Abigail for a period of a term to see her improvement in mathematics. So I went there teaching Abigail, and then within the period of that term, the end of that term, Abigail rose from 53% to 93%. So it was remarkable. And I told myself, oh, okay, then I could start a business out of it where I wouldn't be necessarily doing the one to like be the one teaching, but I could employ other teachers who would also go about teaching, thereby creating employment for these graduate teachers. And then also, while serving that employment part, you're also helping the student in terms of improving the academic performance of the student. So basically, that was my upbringing, and that was the start.
Great. So, you taking care of yourself, how do your parents take it? Did you make it known to them that from henceforth you're going to take care of yourself and therefore they shouldn't really care much about you? Or it was more like a collaboration, you're still taking care of yourself, yet they also support you?
Okay, so one thing surprisingly, growing up, you go to the primary school, JHS, SHS. So in SHS, they were taking care of me in terms of school fees, especially with my mom. And I noticed that when you call her, she knows that you are going to ask her for money. So there's a kind of demeanor or tone they give you when you call because they know that you are just going to take from them. So I realized that after SHS into university, there was a kind of change in their demeanor. One, I earned more respect from them because they realized that I could take responsibilities and I could take decisions that would not affect me. Because previously, they couldn't trust my decisions. But they are the ones taking care of you. So they know what is right for you. But this time around, you are taking care of yourself. And not that you are disrespecting them, but you also want to feel that sense of responsibility. So definitely, I earned that respect. And they were also able to trust my decisions, certain decisions. So then, if I go out was a good decision I made for myself, and it also made me very upright in
So
my
you taught
upbringing.
Abigail. She got a good grade. That was where the idea of starting teacher business began. How did it start? How did the whole idea start?
Okay, so after teaching Abigail, and I noticed that Abigail grew from 53% to 93%, then the business idea struck me that I can't do this alone. I can employ other people because the thing is, no matter what you do, there will be some students who would be academically challenged. In a class of 30 students, you wouldn't get every student hitting a certain mark. Definitely, people have learning challenges, learning disabilities. So that is where my home teacher also comes in. We are saying that we want to bring the school directly to the doorstep of your home, where you can have a one-on-one interaction. The student can have a one-on-one interaction with the teacher. The teacher can also have that one-on-one. So in that particular case, the student gets to understand the concept much more. So parents embraced it. I spoke to a couple of parents about it. Went to from school to school, met with the headmaster and then the mistresses as well. They embraced the idea. Definitely, there were challenges having to move about, going here and there. Social media was also one of the marketing tools that I used. So I embraced this. I was getting few clients who were patronizing the idea, and it gained a lot of traction. One of the reasons was I started this in 2015 while as a student. So I noticed that me being a student and starting a business as a student made the business more reputable. And in the eyes of people, they realize that, oh, okay, this person's a student. He started something as a student and he's combining it with his education, his studies. So, in the minds of people, it was something commendable. So, what happened was the reason why my home teacher was able to penetrate was because of that student entrepreneurship thing. So, I will encourage students in university or tertiary institutions that try then think of things you can do, because one of the ways of becoming successful in the world is to identify a need and try as much as possible to reach out to meet that need. Then you can be successful. And money will always gravitate to those people that solve problems. Money will always gravitate to those that condition themselves for success. When you complain there's no money, there's no money, definitely try as much as possible to solve a need. And God will also see you through. Yes.
Wow, wow, great, great, great. So parents accepted this idea of bringing teachers to their home to teach their young ones. What were some of the challenges you faced starting the whole business? I'm sure I'm sure you might have had issues with getting trusted people to work with and all that. So can you share a little about how some of the challenges you face as a student starting a business, combining it with school and everything?
Okay. So my home teacher definitely is a human institution as well, because we are working with people and we are serving people. The people we are serving are kids, students. We also serve adults as well, who want to further their education, those who also want to write their remedials with the WASI, the doctor as well. But I think there were several challenges we had setting up the business. One on my side was the fact that I was a student, very young, naive. I was still understanding business concepts because for me, in essence, I read science. tiring.
Actuarial science is a very evolving
Definitely,
subject.
because you are studying something in school, and because you want to understand certain business principles to work on your business, you now have to go and study. And sometimes even graphic designing, because you now have to be designing flyers, logos, and then because I had to do everything to make sure that we are ready for business. So that was the challenge with uh, setting up the business. Another one too was I have the teachers all right because it was a portal which you have to create so that teachers who are interested can sign up, and then they have their database so that if any parent needs a teacher within any location, we can connect. But as it stands at the moment, I have over 4,000 teachers on my database across the country, even in other West African countries that who have signed up and willing to work with me. So one challenge I had, another challenge that I had was the credibility of the teachers. Because sometimes these teachers go to their homes and there are issues because a parent would leave his or her word to you, the teacher. And if care is not taken, you could be accused of any violence, you could be accused of abuse, you can even be accused of theft. You see. So that was where the challenge was coming. But thankfully, I did not encounter any major issue with regards to my teachers. It was just one or few. But even with that one, we had to sit down and then solve it with the parents.
I'm sure the COVID was, I would say, a challenge, but it was also a blessing because during the COVID, a lot of young students were at home. They wanted to learn because the COVID could not stop us from learning or studying. Did you take? Were you actively involved during that time as well, or can you
Well,
take us through what
so
happened during that
very
time?
well. Before COVID,
COVID.
so we have the before COVID and then the after COVID experience. So before COVID, things were really moving on well. Business was booming. We were improving the academic performance of students. Teachers were also happy. They were going to teach. They earn an income aside from their full-time jobs in schools. Then COVID sets in. There was a directive from GES and even the president of the country that schools need to be suspended till further notice, and schools to the point shut down entirely. Parents were also scared at that time because they can't also ascertain where the teacher came from, whether the teacher has COVID or not. So we also had to suspend tuition. So revenues that we were earning in thousands, we couldn't earn these revenues anymore because teachers were not teaching. They weren't also earning an income. So one thing was, as an entrepreneur, you can't avoid risk. Challenges will come. You can't avoid them. The only thing you can do is to either mitigate the risk or find a new way of going about your business in such a way that it's still legal and legitimate. So that was where the online tuition came in. I noticed that if teachers cannot go and then teach in the various homes of these students, then we can come up with a module where we teach them online. So that was where I started the online tuition for my home teacher in 2020. And remarkably, I didn't even know that, oh, so something like this would sell. Because we have clients from UK, we had clients from Canada, because everyone was in lockdown. So we had clients from UK, Canada, opting for services, parents with what who were needing special education because they had special needs with autism. So we also had to help them as well. So I noticed that yes, COVID really dragged us down as an organization, but in a way, we also found new ways of going about our business. That's with the online tuition, which we did, and at the end of the day, it worked for us. So, although we lost in terms of teachers going to teach, we didn't also lose entirely because now transportation costs minimized. You don't have to move people. The only challenge was data, and data in the country was also very expensive at that time. But if we should outweigh the cost and the benefits, or we do the analysis, we're still better off. So COVID was a blessing in disguise for my own teacher.
Sure. So, what are some of the things you are hoping to do? What are some of the projections into the future? Because I'm sure as a young entrepreneur, you are looking at some 5 years, some 10 years from now. So, what are some of the projections you are looking at for your business going forward?
So currently, my home teacher is in Ghana, UK, and then Canada.
Oh, okay.
But we are still hoping to penetrate to the neighboring countries.
Okay.
That's we are looking at Togo, Nigeria, Benin, yes, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso within this. So if we are able to do that, then we look at other African countries from the north, south, or even the east. So we are looking at influencing 55,000 African students within 5 to 10 years within that range. That is if we are able to penetrate to other markets in different countries as well. And one thing I'm also looking at, we also introduced the online tuition in 2020 because of COVID. So we are also looking to expand that particular module. It's quite unfortunate that data has become very expensive in Ghana, and not only in Ghana, in Africa as well. So most at times, the outside the foreign countries in Europe and then Asia would embrace online tuition much more better than in Africa. So we are just looking at expanding, growing the business, making people know about it on social media, the traditional media, and then see how we grow.
My other question would be, if there's any advice you have to give to young people watching us now, what would be your advice to young people who perhaps maybe sitting at home thinking that everything should come to them, thinking that probably their dad is rich enough to take care of everything and therefore they're not taking any step to achieve anything? Or there are some people who have the ideas but do not know what to do. What would be your advice to them?
Okay, so I can look into the camera. So any young person out there, basically to you that feels that your parents did not take care of you, you always want to put the blame on your parents that your parents are not well to do or your parents are not rich. So then it leaves you not to do it anything. I want to say that you can blame the past on your parents, but the future needs to be blamed on you. So what are you going to do? The past is gone. There's nothing you can do. You can't choose your parents, neither can you choose where you want to be. So the fact that you can't choose these things, then the future lies in your hands. So what are you going to do with the future? You can take up the little pieces of your life and then try as much as possible to do something. Like I said, one of the ways of becoming successful is just recognizing a human need and try as much as possible to meet that need. It shouldn't be big. We are not looking for you to solve something big or a bigger problem.